And then we get into the conversation with Donnie and Nicole. And at first, I really like this conversation because it's like, okay, finally, we're getting some game talk between Nicole and Donnie. These are two people that I think could really help each other in the game. They're kind of in the same position because, Nicole is close to Christine, who's part of that bomb squad. I'm gonna call the 7 the bomb squad. Like, even though like the alliance is out in the open, like it's those 7 people. And so Nicole has Christine, and then Donnie has like Derek and Frankie to an extent. So I feel like they're both in a very similar position. And Donnie gives her some good advice to just like, you probably should, just to be safe, put up 2 people from that big alliance so, nothing fucking tricky goes on. And Nicole just like totally backs down from it. And I think with the plan for Caleb to throw it and, just having that faith that in Amber as a competitor, she's proven. I feel like Amber at this point has proven herself to be a pretty good competitor. Like, why not put up Christine? Like, you can talk to her about it. Christine is going to agree to it because with this information about the Lions coming out, it kind of puts Nicole in the driver's seat a little bit. So she could definitely justify being like, listen, I need a pawn. You know that I trust you 100%. I just have to put you up there. Caleb's throwing it. You're going to be safe for the week. Why not? Like, it distance her and Christine from, like, an outward appearance. Like, people won't think they're as close as they really are. And she doesn't have to worry about pissing someone off. So I actually would have really liked to see Christine on the block from Nicole. I think it would have been a really interesting and smart move from her. I don't know. What do you guys think about that and just the overall conversation between Nicole and Donnie?
I definitely see where you're coming from with the idea of nominating Christine. I don't think Nicole would do that just because I feel like Christine's too good of a player to let her do that. Like, I feel like Christine would easily talk herself out of being nominated.
That's true. That's good.
Between, like, Christine and Nicole as just, like, players and talkers. So, my thing is that Donnie is giving Nicole, like, the fruit juice, the truth juice, if you will, that she needs, in that you need to cover your bases. Like, if you so happen to remain HOH this week, nominating someone outside of that 8-person alliance, they will get evicted. Like, the proof is in the pudding. Like, they will be gone by the following week. Say, like, if the worst case scenario, Devin wins veto and keeps nominations the same. So, by nominating 2 people that were in that bomb squad, she would cover her bases so that some form of that major alliance would be affected and would be, like, taken care of. So for her to nominate Donnie last minute was very reminiscent of the Borgade just running their season. Like, she nominated 1 person from within it and 1 person from outside of it, and the person that she nominated outside of it was influenced by somebody that was inside the main alliance, and everybody inside that alliance would vote out the person outside of it, so Donnie would have been going home anyway. So, I don't know. It was bad gameplay. It was a bad move on Nicole's part that she nominated someone outside of the 8 alliance, and to me it just showed me that she was in fear of the 8 people that were originally in the bomb squad. She thinks that she can be happy-go-lucky and like, oh yeah, we're all friends, we can all get along, but no, their allegiance is to each other, and you should be offended that you weren't invited to the bomb squad because your ticket's going to come up. Like, you're going to be evicted before any of those other people that are currently enlisted, aside from Devin. So I don't know.
I love when one of the big things that Donnie said that I was just like, yes, is when he's just like, right now it doesn't seem like that big of an issue with the Devin leaving and they're not really together, but before you know it, it's going to be 7-5, then 7-4, then 7-3. And until it's 7-1, and then he's like, and guess what? And then guess who leaves next? You. Like, I was just like, someone listen to Donnie, please. Like, this, Donnie, like, I know at the beginning, I feel like a lot of people were pinning, like, a floater vibe on him, but, like, Donnie knows this game. And he's bringing such good arguments to Nicole, and I just feel like Nicole just doesn't appreciate it. And, I love Nicole, but, like, as a super fan, like, you have to see the bigger picture of this. You have to see it. And Donnie's, like, literally, like, giving her all the pieces. She's like, here, bitch, put together, bitch, put together. And she just ignores it. She doesn't. She's thinking too short term. She's not thinking long term.
I feel like for Nicole, I mean, obviously I don't know her personally, but it just seems like for her to be a super fan, maybe it's easier for her to step back and like we do and talk about someone's game and criticize how someone plays a Big Brother game, and then for her to not be able to do the things that she criticized other people for doing, when she's in there. Because, I mean, I know she's seen at least Big Brother 10, so I know she saw Dan had no problem putting Memphis on the block. You can, sit on the block, I mean, you're not going anywhere, but I don't have a problem putting you on the block. She should feel that same way with Christine. Yeah, we're cool, and if you trust me, you'll still be here, but I didn't come in here for you to win this game. I came in here for me to win this game, so I'm going to do what I need to do to have everybody cool with me, and, I don't know. I need Nicole to show me that she's an actual super fan, because I'm not seeing it from her gameplay.
And to be honest, when I was watching the episode, I wasn't too frustrated with Nicole's gameplay, but after talking about it with y'all, she messed up. She
I wasn't happy with her, but now that we're actually kind of dissecting it and talking about it, it was actually not. It was a very disappointing episode for Nicole.
Yes.
And another thing that I wanted to bring up that Nicole did was, and it wasn't just Nicole, I think it was Derek too, and it's something that, I don't blame on just her, but I feel like a lot of house guests are doing it, especially recent seasons. It's just oh, well, I'm never putting this person up, or this person, or this person. I'm just what? Why relinquish that information? What?
Yeah, why? Yeah, why?
What happened? We need people... We need Danielle and Jason's. That's what we need. Why are people making it so obvious that, Christine and Nicole are, super tight, or Derek and Cody, or Derek and Zach? What is that? It doesn't make any sense. People underestimate the power of, secrecy in that house. And it's different because I know that Zach and Frankie were trying to be like that. Oh, no one will ever suspect us. But, bitch, when you hang out with them 24/7, guess what? People gonna suspect it. So, I don't know. That was another thing that, it's not just Nicole's doing it. I feel like several players are doing it. It's just kind of I don't know. It's a little disappointing.
That's what happens when you get recruits. Hashtag BB recruits.
Speaking of recruits, I just want to say that wasn't it interesting that we just didn't see a lot of Devin this episode? I felt like something was missing.
I didn't.
I did.
Yeah,
I missed my boy Devin.
Bad gameplay, but Nicole seemed to cover that for him. She was like, "Don't worry, Devin, I got us tonight."
I understand. When you were telling me that Devin wasn't in the episode a lot, I was like, "Oh, okay." But I don't think that it really affected the way that I saw the episode or how interesting I thought it was, because literally the conversation, the topic is, Devin going home. So, I mean, he's still
relevant.
Basically relevant. He didn't even have to be on the screen to still be talked about. They can't keep his name out their mouth type of deal. So.
He borrowed Caleb's hoodie from week 1, and now he's walking around moping, eating his cereal on the sidelines, Devin. So, yeah, he's still very relevant because he's a house enemy and he's a house target. But for me, Devin in his confessionals really invokes some sort of emotion, whether it's positive or negative, mostly negative, and mostly critiquing, what the hell is going through your mind. But it's so entertaining. That's the Amandas or the Rachel Rileys that make the show interesting to me. So I'm afraid that it's already week 3. It's already week 3, and he's the house target. He's gonna leave, and I'm just kind of uh-oh, who's gonna be this polarizing figure for me to keep my interest, because he makes things so interesting with his irrational thoughts, and basing decisions off his emotions. So I hope that Devin ends up staying. That's
You're the basics that I'm talking about. Because a true BB fan, Nicole, love people who are good at the game. Strategizing, manipulating. I mean, Derek's doing a really good job of it. He doesn't have a whole lot of airtime because he didn't really need it until he got HOH. You can still be playing the game hard and still make it to the end and win, even though you didn't get any airtime.
Rachel Riley won a season, so I don't understand what you're saying.
I mean, yeah,
I don't know what you're talking about. So
we gave her the Pandora's box that she needed to win. So don't even come at me because that's a whole other story.
We might have to do a separate BB Basic breakdown.
Sit down, Tiffany. Sit down.
To go there.
I wish you would. Sorry.
I'm just saying that I find it interesting when people are good at the game. Not that they are these, big characters. Dan wasn't a huge character in season 10, but he was freaking loved by a lot of people because he was freaking awesome at the game. But that's what I like. I like people who are good, strategic, smart, manipulative players, and not people who are trying to get airtime for their 15 minutes of fame so their YouTube channel gets more subscribers.
Big Brother also is transitioning into a place where it's more so geared towards like those characters. Like secrecy is no longer a thing, as mentioned before. Like there's no more Danielle Jasons. Like everybody wants to issue things in group meetings and like everything out in the open.
And alliance names.
Alliance names. Like there's so many things that make Big Brother not what it used to be. And so for me, like, I need that polarizing character to keep me interested. And that's not only me. I'll stay interested because, I'm dedicated to this Big Brother Basics YouTube channel, and I hope we get more subscribers. But, like, I don't know.
Maybe the reason we got such a small Devinet is because if he does leave, they're trying to slowly get us, like, be like, all right, like, we're gonna have to let him go. You gotta come to terms with this. So we're gonna take him away from you just a little bit at a time. I don't know. I think that Devin should sit Jocasta and Victoria down before if he leaves, just be like, listen, this is how you bitches get screen time. They're definitely gonna need it. One thing, just since our next episode will be covering the POV or the eviction, so I won't have the time to ask you this. If the backdoor plan works, we don't know. Do we think we saw a couple of boos last season? Do we think Devin's going to get boos if he walks out the door Thursday?
Definitely. Definitely. He'll definitely get
probably
boos.
Not. If America's just like Keith is, they're gonna be like sad that he's gone.
No, when Rachel was on her first season, America hated her.
Did she get boos?
That's like half. Because I get so pissed off that people actually loved her. So that's like, I'd say 50% people hated her, 50% people loved her.
But then people started loving her when she started, like, I don't know, becoming more relevant in other ways. Like, whether it was at the jury and just laughing or just returning to the house. Like, was that the first time that the first time that they allowed a jury member back into the house because of a personality? Like, with that 24 hours or whatever, whenever she was getting yelled at by Reagan? Like, I don't know.
Well, plus I think it's like last season the big thing was it's like the whole controversy and like it was very much like the center point of the season. So and Devin's crazy. And I think the worst thing he's ever said is he said some kind of he said some comments about women that definitely came across that he was like looking down on women or but there wasn't a montage of him being like insulting or something. So I don't think he's going to get boos. I think he might get a few, but I don't know. I see him like Jeremy. He's very much like Jeremy because it's at that point in the game. Like America hated him or loved him, hated him. He was obnoxious, but Jeremy still got the applause because he was just like that big character. And I don't know. I would be very shocked if he came down to like a reign of like boos.
But I also think that the Big Brother fans in general are like super hypercritical and like if they don't like you, they want the world to know. So I feel like it's getting to a point where the Big Brother community is like very negative, and so if they don't like Devin, which it seems like everybody doesn't, I could expect like a few boos whenever he walks out this Thursday.
I think it depends on what level it is. Like, since America, quote unquote, loved Jordan and Jeff, when Shelley, screwed over Jeff, like they let her know that they were not happy with her. I don't think anyone can really get to that level unless they portrayed Rachel Riley or something. So I really don't see him getting boos.
Maybe it's because And like they can't blame him for wanting to go after Donnie because I feel like they're just confused about whether or not he still wants Donnie out since he went back and forth. Like today I want Donnie out, but tomorrow, bro, I think I'm gonna recruit him. Welcome to the squad.
Full-fledged bomb squad member.
Here's your honorary bomb. Set it off when you're ready.
Yeah. Oh my god. So next thing I have is the hating Nicole, but just from talking about Nicole, I just don't care about this stuff. I get what the show's doing. They want to make it. There's always got to be that one relationship. I get it. They're cute. Good for them. Next topic.
Oh my gosh, Jacob, you've come around. No,
I love Nicole. I'm just like, you have, and it always happens. There's always that one player that you have really high expectations for, and I just feel like she really did a lot of bad things for her game.
Or maybe Aaron and I are just, Derekking your Caleb right now. So
you may be. You guys are, puppet mastering me right now. You guys turning me against my number one.
I'm not puppet mastering anybody. My girls have gone home 2 weeks in a row. Anybody.
I mean, Aaron and I took Strengths Quest, and puppet master's our number one strength. So.
Do we think that Jacosta's eye roll will probably be her biggest contribution to the season?
There better be a GIF on Tumblr of it right now because I'm going to need to post it and send it to people because it gave me life when I saw it. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I think that was my favorite part of the episode.
It literally gave me chills. Like, I don't know, like Best Supporting Actress. I mean, she needs to be nominated for something.
Because let's be real, she was only supporting actress.
Let's.
But still, she deserves that award.
Get it.
She does. So let's keep going. So we go into the Battle of the Blocks, is there anything we want to say about the Donnie Nicole situation where the fact that Nicole immediately regrets her decision is another red flag. Like, it just kind of shows, it's like, all right, well, you obviously didn't think about this decision, or look how obvious you got put, like, I don't know.
But at the same time, I'm sorry, but at the same time, I'm just going to inject my thought right now. At the same time, like, we don't know how many hours they get to make their decision because of the Battle of the Blocks. So her decision could have been, like, really tight, within a tight, like, hour-by-hour window. So maybe her decision was rushed because she literally had no time to make it. Maybe they were told the morning and she had to make it that evening,
That's very legit because we already talked about it last week, but last week they had to make their nominations the night of winning HOH. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It could have been the same thing, or.
That's fair. That's fair, but I don't know. It still kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But
for sure.
I don't know. There's really nothing much to talk about the conversation unless you guys had something.
I got nothing. Next question.
So we go into the Battle of the Blocks, and honestly, for Caleb to be throwing it, I feel like he did a really good job of hiding it.
If I was Jocasta, I'd be wondering, why am I just, like, hanging here? Like, why are you putting me in the wrong spot? Like, could you just give me all the puzzle pieces? What are you doing? Just stand it over there. Like, it was obvious to me, but I think Jocasta is so clueless on multiple occasions. Like, I'm pretty sure she would have never known that Caleb was throwing the competition. Let alone, like, even when
He didn't throw it. He tried.
When Devin told Jocasta about the bomb squad, her reaction wasn't, oh, there's 8 people, I should really keep an eye on that. Her reaction was, oh, how come you're telling me this information? What are you trying to gain from this, mister? He just gave you some information, Jocasta. You need to get your head in the game right now because Lord Jesus will not respond.
Jocasta, maybe it's because he's the house target and he wants you to target the people who are also in that alliance. Maybe that. Like, can you play the game?
Let's put some
Start
pieces
the engine.
together, please. Let's put some pieces together.
Start your engine.
What did you guys think about the challenge? I really liked, I don't know, maybe it's just because I was geeking out a little bit hard, a little hard on it. I thought it was a really cool set.
I was all criticizing because I was like, why is it called Frog Awards? But then it's because the frog part.
Y'all saw that competition before, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the first time was season 12 or 13.
Yeah, the one wherever Rachel was there, Rachel and Brendan and Jeffy Jordan.
Were any of you guys concerned when Nicole just disappeared at the end of the episode?
I know Hayden was.
I was like, is that their new way of taking them to the DR?
I
On the
kind
ground.
of died inside because of the cheesiness. It brought me back to the first episode where, oh my god, I got my key. Oh my god, is that my key? Oh my god, these cameras. Are you bringing my key? It brought me to that cheesiness, and so I was like, because it literally kills me inside a little bit every time.
I feel like we're seeing kind of a violent trend with the dethroning. Like at first, Frankie just fell in a pool, but then Amber got like bombarded by like ice. And then now Nicole dropping through a trap door. Like I feel like these dethroning activities are just getting more and more hurtful for the house guests.
Watch over the bomb squad.
Watch out! Next one's gonna be a big old bomb. I don't know. So Amber and Donnie are off the block. That's Donnie's second competition win. I don't know. Do we think that here's a big question I wanted to ask you guys. Do we think that Caleb needed to throw that comp? Do we think that Amber could have won that comp on her own with Donnie?
Yes, Caleb needed to throw it. Like Caleb would have told Jocasta where to put the puzzle pieces together.
I think so.
And they were really neck and neck for Caleb throwing the competition, so they could have easily won had Caleb not thrown it.
That's true. I mean, that's
plus, Amber in the confessionals was like, puzzles are not my thing. Like, she was very fortunate that this cowboy over here sees something in her that he's willing to throw a competition for her.
I don't see it.
Yeah.
Well, it should be a very interesting veto competition. I'm very excited to see. I mean, the big question is going to be is Devin going to get picked? Is he going to play? Is he going to win? So, I don't know. I'm really looking forward to it.
If this is Devin's last week, I would hope that he got picked to play in the POV, because that just makes it that much more intense. And then he can actually blame himself for not winning.
Yeah, I mean, it'll definitely make for a more interesting Wednesday night. I think if he doesn't get picked, then it's going to be kind of I don't know. I think it would be kind of a lackluster episode.
Yeah.
It kind of be like when they backdoor Jeremy. It just, it all worked perfectly, but I don't know. There was no, the biggest suspense in that episode was, ooh, they're picking names out of a bag. Tune in tonight to watch Helen pick a name. Pick the wrong name. Who knows?
Alison Grodner got picked for the veto.
Uh-oh. So, I don't know. If y'all are ready, I'm ready to go into some segments.
Yeah.
Okay, alright, well, let me get us started with, that's right, you guessed it. What you gonna do, girl? What you gonna do?
What you gonna do, girl?
See the black girls about you.
And I'm gonna center it on our love-struck cowboy, Caleb, and just what I think he should do after this episode. So, what you gonna do, Caleb? What you gonna do? Well, my first advice for you, Caleb, is to understand that you're not on The Bachelor. So, I don't know how you feel like you've made this big game move when in actuality, I think you just flushed your game down the toilet. So, congrats on protecting the girl that really doesn't give two shits about you and is totally friend-zoning you. But, I don't know, she did look at you while she was passing the butter that one night, so who knows, the love might be there. But, let's be real. You said on the first night that you were never gonna throw shit. And here we are, round 3, and you're throwing your opportunity. Of course you have veto, but you never know, Caleb. You never know. So here's what you need to do. First, take your head out of Amber's ass. It's not gonna happen. Focus on your game. Guess what? If she wins the $500,000, you ain't getting nothing. So you need to stop sacrificing your game for other people in this house. Secondly, you need to start preparing for the fact that, hey, if Devin wins veto and doesn't use it, I could be in a very bad situation. So what I would do is kind of start talking to your, ex-Bomb Squad alliance and make sure that the votes are there, because if you're sitting next to Jocasta, someone that might not even be in the house, I'd be a little worried if I were you. So you definitely need to start thinking about how you're treating others and maybe start working on those alliances, because, you kind of need to have more than one relationship with a girl that doesn't even like you in order to win this game. So definitely focus on that, and good luck in the veto, Caleb. You're going to need it. So that is what you should do.
That was very informative. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
So going into your daughter and your mama, your daughter and your mama.
And your daughter and your mother are too. Your daughter and your mother. Your daughter and your mother.
I decided that I need to go and attack Big Brother. And I mean, it's been a couple of weeks coming, so they shouldn't be surprised. And since we were just talking about Caleb, why don't we just start there? So y'all had the opportunity to show Caleb and all his craziness, because I mean, I've only showed a little bit. You try to save him this country boy facade of his stalker issues, and I tweeted it on the episode that he's going to be on the new show Stalker on CBS. Watch it when it comes out. I don't understand why they put you're pulling and picking pieces of things that you just really shouldn't be. Like, Caleb already looks like a crazy person that is in love with somebody who doesn't love him back. Like, why don't you show all of his stalker things? Like, let us have a little bit of laugh. Devin's about to leave. Like, why don't you give us something? And then let's go into Frankie Victoria conversation, because this was just lovely. Because we thought we were in the clear. I thought we were in the clear with Frankie and Ariana. Like, I was like, you know what? It's just Frankie. We're not going to hear about his sister. We're not going to hear about it. No. Hey, my name's Victoria. I have some questions about your sister, Frankie. What's her name? What's her hair color? How tall is she? Where does she go to school? What does she do? And he, I see in the way that you're editing, it looks like she's, got a devious plan. But literally, that's all Victoria looks like. She looks like she's just up to something at all times. She doesn't know anything about your sister. She really doesn't care. She's a pop star. Frankie's really freaking out. I'm just like, sit down, Big Brother, and sit down, Frankie. Like, this need for Frankie to be in this episode. Literally, Frankie didn't even need to be in this episode. Neither did Victoria, but I guess she needed a little bit of airtime. And then you go with the bomb squad and those blow-ups that didn't even happen the correct times. You have Devin, who told them last week, and then you have Christine, who also told her last week, but no, it's from the episode that HOHs just get nominated, or HOHs just get crowned, and then you make it seem like Christine told Nicole after she won HOH about the bomb squad, which would have been terrible, by the way, if she would have done it at that time. That would have been more suspicious than the actual time she did it, but that's neither here nor there. I also need Big Brother to stop it with the hashtags, because they're ridiculous. The hashtag man tears, really? I mean, yeah, they're guys that are crying, but they haven't seen people. Y'all, you act like this is the first time a man has cried on Big Brother. Y'all need to stop it and stop trying to make hashtags happen with Big Brother. Just enjoy hashtag BB16. Enjoy that we even give you that type of airtime in our lives. Then, moving on to Jocasta, who hit the block this week, but you probably didn't know that because she got no airtime. None whatsoever. She was nowhere to be found on the block. I mean, she was outside during the bomb squad blowout between Devin and Caleb, but she wasn't even shown. You wouldn't even know she was there. The only airtime she got was her eye roll, which was good, but that was the only time that she got airtime. And I hope that something goes down for her, or she snaps off on somebody, because she needs a little bit of airtime, at least for being on the block. Give her a DR or something. Pow Pow had more airtime in this episode than Jocasta. I don't know. They were talking. Literally, I don't think I remember anyone talking about Jocasta this episode, but they definitely brought Pow Pow. Nicole misses Pow Pow, and Pow Pow got Team America coming out there now. I don't. Jocasta, please. Do something.
She has a really good eye roll though.
she had that eye roll. Maybe Jocasta needs to be evicted before someone says her name. Maybe that's it. Do whatever you gotta do.
But I know whose name Jocasta will be saying. Jesus.
Jesus.
I completely forgot about that Victoria Frankie segment just because of how irrelevant I thought it was.
It literally was irrelevant. That's why we didn't talk about it.
Sorry, I apologize for bringing it, but I really don't apologize.
All right, but yeah, I guess it's time to serve up some cake.
Anybody want cake?
It was a struggle for me to find an awkward moment in this episode, because of the time lapse that we have going on. And yeah, part of that time lapse may have dealt with some dehydration issues, but we're not going to think about that right now because I'm just going to let this be authentic. I'm going to let this be organic. So Jocasta, I'm coming for you. Jocasta girl, you have no idea how excited I was that you're getting some airtime this episode, or so I thought. You had the audacity to come inside the confessional wearing towel on your head and towel on your body, absolutely no makeup on, looking busted up. Girl, no wonder why they don't ever include you inside the episodes. You need to present yourself. Do you not realize that this is going to be placed for America to see? They don't want people seeing you like that. Put on your bow tie, fix up your face, do something with your hair because, girl, you look busted up. You were my number one pick. You were my number one pick out of all the girls. Let alone, the girls are a hot mess this season, but you were my number one pick. I see a Rachel Riley in you. I see somebody that could be so dynamic, so interesting, so verbal, so just a character of Big Brother. And here you are, falling to the wayside to these nasty alliances that are going to blow up by themselves, but you're going to be the first person to blow up from them. You're going to be a byproduct. You're standing to the side. Your confessionals are a hot mess. So what I need you to do, Jocasta, drink water, first of all. Second, fix yourself whenever you go inside those confessionals. I mean, remember when Gina Marie, you could tell when she's having a bad day because like she like it's either just she looks normal or she looks hideous. And Jocasta, come on now, you're one of the older people in the show as well. You need to take care of the years that are counting on your face. I mean, Brittany, she can get away with that. She's flawless. She's a single soccer mom. But girl, your face needs help. So all I have to say, Jocasta, I'm coming at you with love, just like Jesus. He comes out with you with love. So just do us all a favor and get right. I mean, I want to see more of your thoughts on the show, but they will never utilize your footage because, unfortunately, we live in a society where you have to look right. And I know you didn't go to no casting calls like that, looking that busted up. So please, for my eyes and the world's, get right in your confessionals because otherwise it'll be a piece of cake that stays inside the bakery forever because nobody wants to eat it. And that's all I got to say about that.
That was like cake for your daughter and your mama and what you should do with it. Like put all of our segments together. That was great.
I mean, I was holding it in.
Yeah, it sounds like you got a lot off your chest now.
I feel great. Also, speaking of feeling great, a thing that was mentioned by one of our viewers was to pose like a question for them to like comment about in like our videos. So maybe we could think of a question for them to talk about in the comments.
Whoa, well, what do you guys think? Got any questions you think we should ask?
My question is, will Devin's eviction this week help or hurt your interest for this show? That's what I want to know. I want to know if Devin leaves this week, will you still be as entertained as weeks go by? Will you still want to tune in every Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday? Or will it kind of just be like, oh, if it's on and I'm here, I'll watch it, but I'm not going to like really make plans to like hardcore watch and see the train wreck that's about to happen. So that's my question.
Committed, Keith.
What?
You're committed to this.
Yes,
so.
are you committed?
Yeah, stay committed. Stay committed. Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's a great question. And also, another thing I'm interested in is, like, who do we think, if Devin leaves today, it's a big if, we're not sure, who do we think is going to be the next big target? Caleb?
Oh, that's a good one. I didn't, yeah, he'll, I think, well, he's definitely the next biggest threat. But a part of me is kind of like...
It's going to be interesting, though, because Derek won't want Caleb to go because that's his puppet.
Exactly. So. And Derek usually gets what he wants, so...
Mm-hmm.
I think we're finally going to see, after this week, we're finally going to see... HOH competitions are going to be a lot more interesting.
That's why I'm like, Devin, go. Because, I mean, there's still stuff that can happen. These aren't the same people that were in Big Brother 12. Big Brother 12 had people who had actually seen the game before, and everybody was trying to play middle of the road. Everybody's trying to be under the radar at the same time. And when you get everybody who's under the radar at the same time, nothing is happening. Like, it's literally like an empty house. You don't know what to do because no one's saying anything to anyone. But this isn't that game. People don't know what they're doing. They're telling, as you've already said, their secrets. So I don't think it's not. I think it's still going to be interesting. There's so many more characters.
And right now, Brittany's on the back burner, but just wait until she steps forward. She'll take the stage by storm, and she'll have something to say. So maybe Brittany will become one of the polarizing figures in the coming weeks.
I would definitely. I think if Devin leaves, there's definitely a lot of room for the game to get shaken up, and I really hope that some of these players take the opportunity to do that. So you definitely do not want to miss the veto episode on Wednesday night, and you definitely don't want to miss the Big Brother Basic Recap where we go through the veto episode as well as the eviction. We'll talk about both the episodes as well as what we can expect, our predictions for the following week. So definitely want to check that out when it comes out. But, even though there won't be a Big Brother Basics episode Wednesday night, you can always live tweet with us. All three of us, we're always tweeting during the episodes. It's so much fun. We're just wrecking these house guests. So
going in.
No one's safe.
Yeah, just come on in. No one is safe. But yeah, you always want to make sure you catch the Big Brother Basic action. So, anything else you guys want to say?
Stay basic.
Stay basic.
As always.
As always. All right, you guys have a great night. Thanks for watching. Stay basic.